farmlands and investments. Beyond the disaster, like when we have the devastation, is the recovery process and other challenges associated with it. Health is a crucial part of this. Today on Environment Matters, we'll be looking at the link between disaster and health, how people are coping that end up in the marine ecosystem. Today on Environment Matters, we'll be looking at how we can upcycle our waste. Remember this program, some time ago, we talked about recycling. So today, upcycling. Now, what is upcycling all about? You'll be hearing from experts. And we'll be looking at how the circular economy approach to waste management is helping us explore all these areas. So the idea of us extracting raw materials, creating items, using and discarding, causing a nuisance to the environment, all that will be checked in the long run if we adequately explore opportunities in the circular economy approach to waste management. So sit back today and learn. Now, we might not be giving you all the tips, so if you have to become an expert, I think you have to go and learn somewhere. But we'll give you vital tips on how you can upcycle waste in your homes, your environment, and make waste valuable and earn money. So stay tuned.
Try to reuse, recycle what you can. And do your part and give a helping hand. This is our world, oh, this is our earth, oh, this is the place where we belong. This is our home, oh, this is our time, oh, this is the place where we come from.
Used and discarded items may be deemed in worth to us, but upcycling can give them a makeover and make them shine with creative worth. And the more we reuse and reduce waste materials, the more we decongest dump sites all around. Upcycling can also be beneficial to the ecosystems and help to greatly improve the environment and economy. Upcycling, also known as creative reuse, is the process of transforming discarded items and other waste materials into new products with artistic and environmental value. It helps to achieve 2 of the 3 R's in waste management: reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Every material has an end of life. You have the cradle to grave. Now, when it gets to that point where you no longer have need for it, you now think about what to do with it, because it's not going to constitute a nuisance in the environment. So that brings in or calls in our creativity, and that is what you have here. Now, in recycling, you must agree with me that the properties of that particular component or waste is changed. But in upcycling, you work with what you have, the waste you have. Now, this is waste tires, and ordinarily you see it on the road. So we just thought about it and we just said, what are we going to do with it? So our creativity was called in, and we started turning it into furniture, beautiful furniture like you've seen here. It's not something that is coming from the moon. It's something you can actually sit down and get yourself together to do. So before somebody now says, oh, how do I import it, how do I do that? The materials are locally sourced. So it now gives you an idea that it is something doable. So we now got the measurement. We now got it perfectly all right, and now glued the body of the tires, and now had to fit in the materials around it. Now, if you want it hard, It could be harder than this if you're not adding enough foam on it. But if you want it very soft, depending on what you want, you could add enough foam on it. Now, these things are now put together, glued together, and this is exactly what you see. Now, you are supposed to work with people who understand this, because it's not something you can sit at home and start trying out. So you need training to really understand how to handle the equipment for it, because you need to perforate. So you must have the appropriate PPEs, when you're working. But at the end of the day, when you're properly trained and you can actually upcycle these things, this is the end product of it. And at the end of the day, it could come as a gift. It could come as something you could use to beautify your house, your office, just as you've seen. So that's exactly what upcycling gives us. So I wouldn't say it is better than recycling. But why a lot of people move to upcycling is it brings out your creative juices. You could create a lot of things from it without actually using so many machines to achieve that. So that is why a lot of people would want to go into upcycling and have it done. And at the end of the day, when you see it, it brings up some air of comfort to you, and at the end of the day, people could see what you can actually do with waste without spending so much money.
Like if you recycle used tires,
yes,
for instance, or in PET bottles, in the long run, do they also end up as waste?
Yeah, you see, it's
after you're done using them.
yes. You see, it's one thing about waste. It is where it ends with you is where it starts with another person, and we call it feedstock. So for me, if I'm done with this, some other person could have need for it, as a feedstock for another thing the person wants to do. So the material keeps going. So for me, I don't have any need for it. Oh, I'm tired of this particular furniture. Now somebody will say, oh, well, thank you, I would need to recycle it to something else. Then off I go with that. Yeah, so that is how it happens. So you don't really say, oh, that this is waste and it's ended with you. Where it ends with you, it starts from the next person. That's the beauty about waste.
Upcycling is crucial in creating a circular economy, as what would have ended up as waste materials can be reused over and over again. Experts say to better explore the gains of circular economy, manufacturers need to re-strategize and ensure that products are designed and produced in ways that they can be upcycled. Another crucial benefit is that greenhouse gas emissions responsible for global warming and climate change are prevented and reduced.
There are a lot of calculations made for circular economy to reduce emissions. So on mitigation, on reducing carbon footprint, circular economy can make changes. Another way of looking at it is reducing the cost of healthcare implications. For example, when we dump all of our plastics into the environment, we are already eating microplastics from the fish we catch in the ocean. There's already more fish in the lagoon in Lagos and more plastic in the lagoon in Lagos than probably there is fish. And those things are all environmentally costly for our health, for our bodies. So for a population to become truly vital and economically productive, you need to also look at sustainability factors, and circular economy can play a role in that. Circular economy might sound a bit like a cherry on the top or a side conversation that we can have, but it's actually part of the core of an economy. When you look at making an economy more efficient, when you look at creating more jobs, when you look at business models and policies for a country, making things circular not only makes wins for the environment, but also creates economic prosperity and jobs. The United Nations Environmental Programme has calculated that for the continent of Africa, there's a $3 trillion industry that can be tapped into with circular economy prospects. There are whole reports written about this, and moving from linear of sourcing, making products in factories and then dumping them aside, letting them waste in dump sites, it's not an efficient way to organize your economy.
A circular economy, as described by the United Nations Environmental Assembly, is one of the current sustainable economic models in which products and materials are designed in such a way that they can be reused, remanufactured, recycled, and recovered.
This is still environment matters. Now, we all know that Lagos State, for instance, has banned the use of styrofoams and single-use plastics. Although right now some supermarkets still sell with polythene bags, you still get them in the market, but soon you won't see people selling with polythene bags. And we've always encouraged you on this program to go to the supermarkets, to the stores with bags from your home. So you can also make yours, guess what, using the cover of PET bottles, okay? And even the rings. You can make a small portable bag like this. And if you want the size bigger, you can also do that. We might not give you all the tips. You have to go and learn that. But today we have experts that will give you vital tips on how you can achieve something meaningful for yourself and that can help you go do your shopping without using single-use plastics. Sometimes I want to make a bag like this. Where do I even start?
It's very simple. The first thing you do is, you made mention of getting your bottle covers, which is a PET bottle covers. Then you get your equipment, which is a knife, and you simply cut through the covers to make sure it is well smoothing. Then we also make use of the twine that you use to wrap it up. This is a very good sample of that.
So how do you
get a twine, cut it up to the size that you want.
Okay.
With a glue.
Okay. So after cutting
the top,
cutting like a circle. Okay.
Yes. Then you put this in between. Then wrap it up.
Okay. Okay.
In and out. In and out.
Okay.
You could see it's actually very simple. Kids from primary schools who come here to learn this craft.
Okay, so they'll do this process until they
That's enough.
You achieve this?
Yes.
Okay, and as many as possible.
As many as possible.
Okay.
It's measurement for each bag, each sizes that you want.
Okay.
Yes.
So after that process, what do I now do?
Then you put them in place according to the colors you want.
Okay.
You will get different colors. Put them in place according to the colors, and you use glue to put them together. So it's actually glue that is holding this together.
Glue?
Yeah, so the glue is the final point of joining them together. Let's say this is our covers. Start getting this. You now place them according to the sizes that you want. If you want 4 in each row, you place them this way, then you use the glue to tag each point that is connected. That will hold every point together. So after that, you will just put them in position and glue the edges. You can see this part in the bag is made up of different points. The sides, the 2 areas, and beneath it. Also, the handle is made up of the same twine, but you can see this is a bit stronger. So it's made from the edges out, because we are making use of the edges. You could use your knife or scissors. So you see, this is what we use to make this handle.
Okay. Then you still use that same process of
wrapping it up with the
this
twine. Just get. You remember we said you use glue to do everything. So the first point you put a glue there, then you wrap it up.
Okay.
You can see.
Okay.
So down to the edge where you want it to stop, then that is how you get your handle done on the. So it depends on your specifications, how you want it, the sizes, and the beauty you want to come out of it. That is the upcycling that we're talking about. Yeah. And also from this part, from the plastic, you can also make, this is our interlock tiles. Yes, we make interlock tiles out of it as well. You just need to melt it to a certain degree that you want. We do it in two forms. You have the hard one and the soft one. The hard one, it's those ones you mix with sand, and it's as good, it's even better than the conventional interlock tiles that we have. It lasts over 100 years, and because plastics take time to decay. Yes, so that is why
you made this from.
This is from PET bottles.
Wow.
Yes, and you can also use nylon as well. The single-use polythene bags that they are driving out of that is.
You're trying to phase out.
Yeah. So with that, you also do this. So it depends on what you want. Aside that, also this also is made out of the covers, PET covers. This is being used as a bin.
Okay.
Yes, you could use it as a bin in your offices. You could use it as a carrier. Put your pen and other things inside your office accessories. So you can use it as a flower vase as well, because you can see there are spaces in between where water can drain out and a lot. So it is multi-purpose, depending on what you want to use it for. So it's all made out of the PET covers.
Okay, but how long will it take? How many hours will it take me to achieve this? Or how many minutes will it take me to achieve this?
Actually, it will take you, depends on the size that you want to make. If you are making this size, it took us 2 hours. Because of the twist and turn and the making of this point.
Now you have an idea what you can do with the cover of PET bottles and even the ring. So time now for us to join Zainab Adam in Maiduguri for more on recycling and upcycling.
These waste materials were gathered from trash cans and dump sites from various locations in the state. They include used plastics, water sachet, polythene bags, bones, and empty cartons. People walking by might be curious and pondering what these children, youths, and men are doing at a dump site at 4 p.m. with sacks in their hands. The young boys are sorting out biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste materials, which are packed and weighed in kilos to determine their value for onward packaging to Kano, Aba, and other parts of the country. Samaila Abdullahi, a plastic seller among them, says sorting out waste and selling them is a sustainable business that helps them earn a living and keep the environment clean.
We give some children wheelbarrows to get the waste for us, and we will in turn sort them out. It is through this business some of them sponsor their education.
The sound Every recursion machine welcomes you to Borno State Plastic Industry, Bubblers, Plant B, located at Pompomari. They also process PPE raffia materials, which are used in producing sacks, kettle, jerry cans, and other products. A number of recycling initiatives are in place here pertaining to various plastic-related products, such as production of shopping bags, chairs, tables, and other items.
We had a meeting with Bosepa the other time. We said we need their assistance or their help, and they have been trying. And also, we made some sensitization to people in the town. We receive collections from these pure water manufacturing company. All these pure waters you have in the town, we have our vendors who go to them to collect in bulk. There are some scavengers. They scavenge in hotels, restaurants, and all what have you. So under them also they have some units. They have their own young people will be collecting for them. Then they scale it. When they scale also up to the time that it reach our own level, then they take it to the company. We scale it. How many kg material did they bring? We then multiply it, give them the money. They go back to the business. We don't pay all of them at the same cost. Like the ones that comes from this pure water company, the price varies. The ones they scavenge, the price varies. And the one that some, you will see it very dirty, the price is different. So now, because of the economic challenges, we buy it from 50 naira per kg, 60 naira per kg, maximum of 70 naira if it is a very good one.
We want people to cooperate with us in cleaning the environment, and this waste to wealth initiative is in place to reduce poverty.
Lack of energy is a challenge affecting the recycling initiative. To address this, the state government has adopted a public-private partnership to make recycling and waste management sustainable in the state. The Northeast Development Commission has recently organized a week-long training on climate change awareness and adaptation, waste management, recycling, watershed management, energy efficiency, among others, for participants across Borno State towards protecting the environment.
Some team were shouldered with the responsibility of drawing a roadmap on how to work on recycling plant. And the reason for citing of recycling plants is to reduce unemployment. Then two is about cleanliness of the environment we're living around.
Continuous advocacy on waste management and disposal, bearing in mind safety tips and sustainability, will be a plus for the well-being of all in a safe environment.
Pangolins are facing a crisis. They are the most trafficked mammals in the world. Over 1 million have been sold illegally since 2000. Pangolins may disappear forever if we don't protect them now. Say no to illegal pangolin trade and report wildlife crime. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
Thank you, Zainab. Now, I know someone who says that when he moves around and he sees plastic bottles, he's thinking of different things he can create. Have that mindset as well. So until next week, when another episode of Environment Matters comes your way, I am Jennifer Igwe, and like I always say, stay green and think green.
The implementation of the ruling is also dependent on another aspect or another arm of government.
Nowhere in the world will allow under digital economy for banks not to be dispensing domestic currency in that economy.
What will make this one different? We want to know what they do as occupation. All of these are attributes that are questions have been designed to investigate.
In a few days to come, you see that we are all around their own crannies and everywhere in Nigeria, telling people to cooperate.
Welcome to Nigeria Today.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to NTA News 24, DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, StarTimes Channel 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703.
Hello and welcome to the news update at 1 on NTA News 24 Abuja. I am your carrier, Clinton. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice to facilitate the immediate release of the minors facing trial in connection to the recent protests in some northern states. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, after meeting with the President, announced these to State House correspondents.
To that whatever the circumstances are, let the minors be released. They can, of course, continue whatever process there are, if indeed there are, as stipulated by our laws.
Similarly, the charges of alleged conspiracy, treasonable felony, and disruption of public peace filed against 150 young persons in the wake of the August nationwide protest have been struck out by the Federal High Court, Abuja. Justice Obiora Egwatu discharged the defendants based on a motion for discontinuance of the trial filed by the Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation, Mohammed Abubakar, on behalf of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN. The Justice Ministry took over the case in line with its powers in Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria. Justice Egwatu, receiving no objection from the Defense Counsel, granted the request and dismissed the charges. He ordered the immediate release of the defendants from prison remand. Still on the release of the minors, the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, has commended President Bola Tinubu for instructing the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, to ensure the immediate release of all minors detained during the End Bad Governance protest across Nigeria. In a statement by the Executive Director of CISLAC, Awal Musa Rafsanjani, welcomed President Tinubu's decision, praising his willingness to investigate the circumstances leading to the arrest and hold responsible security personnel accountable. Additionally, CISLAC urged President Tinubu to extend this act of directive to other detained protesters, fostering greater national unity, justice, and demonstrating a government open to addressing citizens' grievances. CISLAC also underscored the importance of police reform, particularly in recruitment and service deployment, noting issues of police misconduct, including instances of brutality and corruption. The organization stressed that only through a merit-based and transparent recruitment process can Nigeria build a police force that serves and protects the public responsibly. And then the news update at 1. Do join us by 3 for the news desk. I am your carrier, Clinton. Good afternoon.
From screamers to net busters, Nigerian players abroad certainly gave us a lot to look forward to ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations and World Cup qualifiers. And while some of them are doing what many would say is expected of them vis-a-vis scoring of goals, others are leaving fans with their jaws dropped. Hello there and welcome here. This is Sports Unlimited, broadcast to you from NTA News 24 right here in the capital city of Abuja. I am Daniel Adiri, and with me to talk sports today is Godwin Imidobi. Hello, Godwin.
Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome. How was your weekend?
Well, the weekend was very good. Talking about the results that pound out over the weekend, but my own joy is that our own MPFL is waxing strong and booming good.
Quite a lot of talking points there. Yeah. We'll definitely get to that. But right now, let's get to the court, talking about tennis, where Germany's Alexander Zverev claimed a straight-set win over home favourite Hugo Humbert to clinch his first Paris Masters title. The new world number 2 beat the French number 1 6-2, 6-2 on Sunday to secure the 7th ATP 1000 title of his career.
Alexander Zverev, the champion.
Both were playing in their fourth final of the year, with Zverev having lost the French Open final to Carlos Alcaraz in June. Congratulations there to Zverev. But I mean, the ATP has always been what you call a seesaw, or in local parlance, Jangilova. Let me use that. One end is Carlos Alcaraz trying to regain top spot. Yannick Sinner, on the other hand, is not letting go of #1 spot anytime soon. And then we have Zverev, who is also edging closer and even more closer than ever to #1 spot. Big win there in Paris. But do you think there might be just one small upset even before the year runs out?
Well, Zverev have all it takes to get up to that point, and I believe he's gradually working himself through to that point where we will now look at him as title contender at that level, because him and was this other guy, Tsitsipas, they actually there up before Sinner from nowhere came, overtook them, and you could see Sinner and Alcaraz up there. So right now, this young man is working his way. He has that tenacity. What he just needs to do is to push himself a little bit harder, and that clinical finishing at the tie breaks and those very important points whereby we will see him getting the points, getting the victories, and winning the point to take him up to that level. But for me, I believe in him, and I know he can get up to that level, because it shouldn't just be Sinner and Alcaraz alone. We should have more contenders, and that's how the game will be thick and also be interesting. It shouldn't be always Sinner, it shouldn't be always Alcaraz, but we should see this him and Tsitsipas also coming up there to make that major comeback, that upset, so that the game will be interesting. Because if one person you're always winning it all, there will be nothing to give again. And since if there won't be that contention moment whereby you want to, okay, I've lost, let me try again, it's not going to be a good one for just the game of tennis for Alcaraz and Sinner to have gotten to this stage. We believe in the other likes that are also, they have youth energy in with them, and we believe that they can and they should be up there with the likes of Sinner and Alcaraz.
Absolutely. Well, still a lot to look forward to. I mean, definitely there'll still be rankings before the end of the year, and then we'll see who finishes off the year 2024.
Sinner certainly has taken the #1 spot, and there's nobody for me at this before the end of the year or the end 2024 can upset him.
Okay, so I guess it's a struggle for 2, 3, and possibly 4.
Yeah.
All right. Away from the court, we head off to the race circuit, talking about Formula 1, where Max Verstappen climbed up from 17th on the grid to win the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, one of his greatest victories, taking him to the brink of a 4th world title. Rival Lando Norris of McLaren had a difficult race, finishing 6th after a couple of key errors to fall 62 points adrift of Verstappen, with 86 still available in the final 3 races.
In the Brazilian rain, the Dutchman has delivered a defining drive. He climbs the hill back to Grand Prix victory. Max Verstappen wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Verstappen will become world champion if he leaves the next race at Las Vegas on 23rd November with a lead of at least 60 points. Okay, so this particular race is quite peculiar. I mean, the aquatic elements definitely had a lot to play. In fact, at a point, I think more than any race this year, this was the one race where they had to use the safety car almost, if not 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
The start was chaotic. It was a lot of cars drifting off the race circuit. I think it was I can't remember the name of the driver now, but a lot of accidents happened.
Mitsubishi was involved, yeah.
Just, it was chaotic, and some were even advising that the race be called off and possibly waiting for the rain to subside. But for best reason known to FIA, they kept on driving, and for some reason, I guess McLaren, talking about Norris, couldn't find his footing, and Verstappen, being the bulldog that he is, just somehow was able to power on through from 17th all the way to the top. Do we think Verstappen can still cause an upset, or should I see Lando Norris rather cause an upset even before Las Vegas and the other 2 races left for the rest of the season?
Well, Verstappen actually, how will I even put it? it. Set himself up there, and he's somebody that you must reckon with, and you must give kudos to him for his achievement so far in the courts. You understand, in the race. So for me, do not write him off, because he has gone to the #1 spot, fell down a bit after Norris overtook him, and is back, and he's giving his best and his all. You understand. So Ferrari, Mitsubishi, let's see Red Bull. Let's see how they will it's going to pan out to the end. But for me, Verstappen has come to stay, and the remaining two competitions that he has, for me, I'm giving it to him.
I mean, quite a lot of.
It's going to be a
confidence.
very tough one. Not that I'm writing the others off, like I said, but for the Verstappen I saw, and he is like a rejuvenated Verstappen, and his
mind you, he's been under the radar for all the wrong reasons.
Yes.
A lot of backlash.
Yes.
Most of the drivers don't even like him.
Yes, you understand. But he's coming off from an off-take point. You understand. And I believe that, like I said, he's rejuvenated. I could see that interest, that push. He has pushed himself over the years for the wrong reasons, and now he wants to write his name on the right reasons.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see how that pans out. 2 or 3 more races to go. Next up is Las Vegas, and well, if he does enough to get the maximum points, he just might snatch that #4 title. But away from the race circuit, we turn to some pugilistics, talking about boxing. Former 2-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua will have to wait longer for his highly anticipated bout with Tyson Fury, as he maps out his return to the ring following his devastating loss to Daniel Dubois. Despite suffering a crushing 5th-round knockout defeat to Dubois at Wembley Stadium in September, Joshua remains arguably still the biggest star in heavyweight division, according to his promoter Eddie Hearn, who believes a showdown with Fury could be next for the British star. However, Fury's co-promoter Frank Warren has cast doubt on Joshua's immediate future in the division, insisting the former champion needs to rebuild his credibility first. We've bantered over this a couple of times, and I've always had your own take on this. But at this junction, Frank Warren, promoter for Fury, saying, just call it quits.
It's all for
throw in the
for
towel. It's all over. Probably try and see how you can rework this thing. And we're not saying you're not good. I mean, you're a 2-time heavyweight champion, but probably just go into some bit of isolation, like a retreat, if you may. Try and, rebuild and then come back out. Going toe-to-toe again with Dubois will probably mean the end of your career, because if he knocks you down a second time, it's over. There is no coming back. And then there's Eddie Hearn, on the other hand, saying, nah, he's not done. He's still got a lot more in the tank. So, in fact, on one hand, permit me to say this, Dubois was actually expectant of a rematch. Yeah. And then in an interview, he said he was actually a little pissed off that, his management didn't see that fight through. That's, Dubois versus Joshua 2 through. So it's a lot of back and forth. But do you think if Joshua goes up against Dubois for a second time, he possibly might just have an edge over him, vis-a-vis what we saw in the first bout?
It's tough, you understand, because let's look at his mental stage, his mental health currently, and his belief, his ego. Those are the things that is playing out now for him. He believes he has what it takes to come back. He believes in himself, and but a lot of people are looking at it from the other angle and perspective. They say, guy, this is high time you leave the stage. Just like we always say, when the ovation is loudest, it's better you quit and go. But for Anthony Joshua, he's not seeing it that way. He believes he can. But for me, as a person, yes, he's a Nigerian. I always say something, when there's a difference between being patriotic and being realistic. You understand? At this point in time, for me, let's be realistic. The other fighters they have a little edge above and against Anthony Joshua right now. For me, he should call it a quit. It's nobody will say he's not a champion, or nobody will undermine him. He has given his best. He has won everything up to that category of being. He has had the fourth belt title all to himself. You understand? Yeah. So if he leaves at this stage, it's not a shame. So for me, he should try and swallow his pride and his ego, call it a quit, and go, because if he gets that the rematch against Dubois, I see a more devastating blows to him, and it won't be good for him with his reputation and everything. So for me, if he's looking at the money, even if you lose in boxing, you still have huge cash flowing to your account. It shouldn't be about the money. It should be more than the money. So for me, I'm not looking at it that okay, it needs the money, but at this point in time, for me, you should call it a quit.
Well, I mean, quite a lot of talking points there you raised. Some might even say that, I mean, while we were all hoping to see the ultimate British showdown, talking about Fury versus Joshua, at this junction, if Dubois is knocking him down, then he should probably expect an absolute,
and he's looking for a rematch.
Devastation, complete devastation from Fury, who is a knockout puncher, by the way. But I mean, a man knows his body better than you, who lives in the body. And if he's saying, I still have a lot more to go, why not? Sure. We'll see what happens in the next couple of months.
Let's see.
And if they can get him about, well, we're all here for it.
Let's see.
We pause here for a break. When we come back home and we talk a bit of football to stay.
Luis Diaz returns the ball to him. Here comes Salah. Liverpool's tails are up. Salah! It's quite simply stunning from Liverpool.
And it was the tale of old horses riding hard and strong as Ahmed Musa scored the winner for Pillars, and Ikorodu City also ended Rivers United's unbeaten run. We now bring you a review of the MPFL weekend.
Ahmed Musa netted the winning goal as Kano Pillars defeated Plateau United 2-1 at the Muhammadu Diko Stadium on Sunday. Gafar Saka gave Plateau United the lead in the 66th minute. Kano Pillars then fought back through goals from Rabiu Ali and Ahmed Musa. In Lagos, Rivers United lost for the first time in the Nigeria Premier Football League this season, going down to a 2-0 defeat against Ikorodu City. Ayomide Cole gave Ikorodu City the lead 3 minutes after the break. Review Ayemweri doubled the advantage 8 minutes later. In Enugu, Holders Rangers claimed a 2-0 win over Nasarawa United at Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, Enugu. Last season's top scorer Godwin Obaje scored both goals for the Flying Antelopes. Meanwhile, El Kanemi Warriors, the only unbeaten side in the MPFL this season, maintained their impressive start to the season with another win over Katsina United. Ibrahim Mustafa's 69th minute strike made the difference as the Warriors moved to 4th on the log while also preserving their unbeaten streak. In other matchday results, Eimba played out a 1-0 draw against Bayelsa United. Heartland recorded a 1-0 away win against Abia Warriors, and Rema Stars ran away with a 1-0 home win against Lobi Stars.
Quite wonderful since there. Mind you, Rabiu at least 44 years of age, right? Yeah. And at 44, he's still giving his best. All-time top goal scorer for the MPFL, all-time top goal scorer for Kano Pillars, and according to him, he says, I don't see myself retiring anytime soon.
Ronaldo is still doing what he knows how to do best.
I am always literally very, very perplexed and just blown out of my mind how these men keep fit 44 years later, and he's literally what you probably say in the form of he's an integral part of that team. You take Rabiu Ali, you've ended Kano Pillars. How are they doing this?
For me, it's a good one, and it's a motivation for the younger ones who look up to them as for how will I even look up to them for inspiration, for motivation, look at their dedication to the team. Look at Ahmed Musa there also. And for me, why I say I'm happy that the MPFL is back and running is because it puts food on the table for a lot of Nigerians who are playing and who have business around the sporting world. Right now we have a new management to take care of the National Nigerian Sports Commission, you understand? And Shehu Diko will give his best, and he has said that the MPFL, all football will not just be a priority, and every other what's it called, association will be dwindling there, and he's going to raise them up. So for me, I'm happy at this point in time, because the football and every other sports will have the attention that it deserves. And for me, look at even the coaches we have. Our own former Nigerian players are coming to coach the team. Look at the Lobby Stars, the TM there, Daniel Amokachi. Yep. Rivers United has George Finidi, and so on and so forth. Even Brown Ide also had said he want to come play for Rivers United. So look at Ahmed Musa doing his best for Kano Pillars. We talked about Rabiu Ali and a whole lot of players who they feel, well, Europe is over, let's come back and grow. For me, it's the growing of the league, and to ensure that we build infrastructure. For me, this new leadership of the NSC should look at building infrastructure to ensure that we'll churn out the best talent in Nigeria that can represent our various associations. And
Sebastian, the 20-year-old, put pen to paper on a one-year contract. Sebastian joined the Yellow and Reds from French Diarkema outfit Stade Reims. The attacker reunites with Oluwatosin Demain, who joined Galatasaray in September. Ademola Lookman scored twice as Atalanta thrashed Napoli 3-0 at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Lookman opened scoring for the visitors in the 10th minute. The winger volleyed home from a tight angle after he was set up by Charles de Catalere. The 27-year-old then doubled Atalanta's lead with a superb shot from outside the box 1 minute after the half-hour mark.
Now it's into Lookman. Lovely work in transition. Lookman! It's the Ademola Lookman show in Naples.
In Scotland, Cyril Dessers was on target as Rangers sealed their place in the Scottish League Cup final with a 2-1 come-from-behind victory over Motherwell at Hampden Park. It was Nedim Bajarami who provided the crucial moment with 10 minutes remaining, with the Albanian adding to Dessers' leveller shortly into the second period. Dessers has now scored 4 goals in the Scottish League Cup this season.
Tierney, Barron progressing forward, and Dessers! He scores this time!
England. Ola Aina was on target for Nottingham Forest, who thrashed West Ham 3-0 in Saturday's Premier League game. The last time Aina scored was November 2023 in a 2-0 win for Forest against Aston Villa. Aina scored in the 78th minute to put Forest 3-0 ahead after Chris Wood and Callum Hudson-Odoi had scored the first and second goals, respectively.
Couldn't argue with either of them. Second was in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Ola Aina here has bulldozed his way through challenge.
Oh!
The shot!
Oh
into the top corner! From the edge of the penalty area, left-footed Ola Aina has absolutely blasted that!
I'm most certainly going to have seen a lot of that on Reels and everywhere you go to. But away from other parts where Nigerians are doing things too. More goals now on a weekend where major setbacks. Liverpool go top of the EPL as Manchester United without Ten Hag held by Chelsea. Let's show you some of the highlights from the EPL weekend.
Manchester United in red, white and black will go left to right in the opening 45 minutes. Chelsea from right to left in blue, and white socks. A rip-rousing chorus of Country Roads takes us to kick-off. Rasmus Hojlund in the middle brings it down. Goes down into the challenge from Sanchez. Penalty Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes, the Manchester United captain, at the Stretford end of Old Trafford, steps up to take this penalty and scores! Manchester United lead by a goal to nil. Bruno Fernandes off the mark in the Premier League.
That's a nice ball for Mitoma. It's just behind Paul. And a player he knows very well on and off the field. A miscue from Jorginho Ruta. Jones carrying the ball beautifully. Luis Diaz returns the ball to him. Here comes Salah. Liverpool's tails are up. Salah! It's quite simply stunning from Liverpool to turn the game around in a matter of minutes, and the way they do it in such style.
An absolute banger there from Salah, but in less than 30 seconds, because we're currently out of time, Amorim will be taking over Manchester United in a couple of days, after international break. Ruud van Nistelrooy, 2 matches, scored 6 goals now.
Yeah,
some people have said, it probably was a plot to get Ten Hag out of the way, and whatever the case may be. What do you see happening to Manchester United under Amorim? Is this going to be better? Is it going to be worse? What should we expect?
Well, he's going to come with his team, and let's see what the rebuilding process will look like for him when he takes over Manchester United. Everybody will want him to give his, as in for him to take Manchester United to that level where they ought to be, because currently they are not where they ought to be. But for the weekend, we should all give it to Ademola Lookman, our Nigerian that have been firing from one cylinder.
Absolutely.
For me,
absolutely,
African best player, Ademola.
Show and guarantee that's definitely sealed.
It's definitely never enough time to talk sports, but once again, thank you for joining us on the program, Godwin.
Thank you very much. It's my
and
pleasure.
To you out there, thank you like always for staying tuned with us. Next week is another time. Do well to join us. Until then, I remain yours sincerely, Daniel Adiri, urging you to stay safe, stay humble, but more importantly, love someone. Until then, adios.
Celebrating excellence and achievements. Hello and welcome to People and Events. I'm your host, Gufan Shaji Ogwani. On the show today, we bring you a potpourri of celebrations, from birthdays to awards. And of course, we also see the celebration of legacy.
We'll start off with a celebration of the remarkable life story of an exceptional Nigerian woman. Yes, it was a birthday celebration, but the event clearly resonated with the persona and aura of the celebrant, Chief Dr. Chetachi, a renowned humanitarian icon who hails from Imo State but operates at a global level. She has spent a lifetime dedicating herself to the betterment of humanity. As she marked her birthday this year, friends and family gathered to celebrate a trailblazer, someone they describe as a dynamic force for good, whose legacy continues to inspire, empower, and uplift others.
Traditional rulers and other dignitaries gathered in Abuja to celebrate the birthday and humanitarian contributions of Princess Chetachi Nwoga-Ekton, the global chairperson of the International Women Power Conference and CEO of WIN and Elim Foundation. She was honored for her dedication to empowering women, children, and vulnerable groups across the country. The event was attended by dignitaries such as the Obi of Onitsha, His Royal Majesty Igwe Alfred Achebe, Chairman of Imo State Council of Traditional Rulers, Eze Dr. E.C. Okeke, and the Sakpeyi of Garki, Abuja, Alhaji Usman Ngakopi. The birthday celebration commenced with musical performances and various cultural dances to the delight of guests.
So on this day, Mom, I want to wish you a happy birthday. I thank you for all that you do for me, all that you do for your community, for your village, for your people. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so thankful to have you as my mother. Everything that I am today, who I am today, is all because of you. And you deserve all of your flowers, and I hope for you to have many years of health and wealth.
She is a bridge builder.
We wish you a very happy birthday, and we pray that this is the beginning of many more years of accomplishments and of blessings from God, and through you, blessings on many, many people all over the world.
Our prince is indeed our great daughter, in whom we are well pleased. We are proud of her for her remarkable achievement in human capital development.
We pray that God will give you many, many years ahead, that all the good things you have to do for Nigerians, all of us, we shall enjoy it.
I've touched millions and millions of lives, and I'll keep touching lives, helping those in need, the orphans, the widows, the widowers, all that is in need as much as I can.
Princess Chetachi Nwoga-Ekton's birthday was not just a celebration of her life, it was also a celebration of the lives she has transformed and uplifted.
She's a very interesting character. She's a compulsive philanthropist. I love that. She loves to give, and the people she's given are giving testimony, and I know God sees her heart.
With over 40 cakes on display at the birthday event, this was beyond marking her personal milestone, but also an opportunity to help others. Celebrants noted that gifts presented to her for her birthday will be donated to those in need, further proving that her joy comes from giving.
These cakes will go to all children, orphans that have never had a birthday cake before and have never celebrated birthday before. All these cakes you see will be donated to all of them.
Weeks to her birthday, the celebrant had also organized a massive medical mission in Abuja, ensuring that those in need receive essential healthcare services. As part part of the celebrations, Princess Chitachi announced the launch of the Scale Up for Sustainability Initiative, a project under the European Union United Nations Spotlight Initiative.
There is about 90 million of poor families. Over 90 million. Can you just imagine that? I can never see any child hawking granite when he's supposed to go to school, or a girl while she's supposed to be in school. And one of our initiatives will be also rebuilding schools. I have rebuilt schools, and I'll look further in rebuilding more across Nigeria by the grace of Almighty God.
Congratulations, Doctor, and thank you for touching lives and impacting humanity. Moving on, the National Association of Psyche Elites organized a grand reception in Abuja to celebrate two esteemed members of the Psyche Kingdom who recently were conferred with the prestigious title of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN. Ekenendule tells us that this landmark achievement marks a significant milestone for the Psyche Kingdom, as the honorees are the first from the area to receive such an honor.
The occasion marked not only personal achievements for the honorees, but also a significant milestone for the Psyche Kingdom, an ancient community in Oyo State. The reception, a celebration of excellence and heritage, echoed with the pride of a community united in purpose and aspiration. As the evening progressed, speeches were delivered that resonated with pride and inspiration.
The rank of senior advocate in our country started as far back as 1950, if I'm not mistaken. Count the number of years that God honored Shaki to have its own first set of senior advocates. Not just one, but two. Which of the favor of Almighty Allah will we deny?
Elders of the community recounted the journey of the honorees, highlighting their dedication, hard work, and the sacrifices made to reach this pinnacle of success.
Shaki is one of the largest cities in Oyo State, and we've been producing lawyers since 1950s. Shaki has more than 500 lawyers, but none of them has been able to make it to the pinnacle of that profession. That this time around, we have two at a time. It was celebrating.
All that they have been doing that made the federal government of Nigeria to find them worthy of this position, they should not relent. They should do more. And of course, in executing their functions, in carrying out their functions as senior advocate of Nigeria, they should not forget our community.
It's a show of love by the association, and I believe that it will also encourage them and motivate them to facilitate growth and development to the community.
They have a very good pedigree, and we are proud to have people like this, and we pray to have more of them in our community.
Omosanya Popola SAN is a legal practitioner with over 2 decades of experience, while Ademola Abimbola SAN is a partner at Afe Babalola & Co. Both honorees are grateful for the recognition by their community.
2 at a time signifies that more is coming. And to this, we thank God for this opportunity, and we believe with this, many more progress and development is coming to the Shaki in due course.
That in everything you do, you have to be dedicated, you have to be committed, you have to be hardworking.
It is not easy to attain the rank of a senior advocate of Nigeria. It takes a lot. You have to be determined to be able to achieve success. It is only when you are determined that you'll be able to do it.
As the night drew to a close, the reception left an indelible mark on the hearts of all present, lighting a beacon of hope for future generations, encouraging them to dream bigger and reach further.
Congratulations to the Saki Sons. What an achievement. We'll pause now for a break. Stay with us.
The world needs mums. With a splash of golden terra oil, a mum can transform a frown into a smile. Change no thanks into yes please. Resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty family meals is all that matters. Where there are moms, there is love. Golden Terra Oil, or pure love.
Thank you for staying there. Moving on, in today's world, digitalization has many advantages, such as accessibility to information, easy and immediate communication, and the ability to share information and increase commercial competition. These merits of technology, the Bureau of Public Service Reforms saw in 35 ministries, departments, agencies, state governments, legislature, tertiary institutions, and individuals as he awards them for their digital transformative efforts. Harman Jabani brings us thrilly moments of the award ceremony, which marked the end of the 2024 Nigerian Government Tech Conference with the theme, Digital Innovation as a Catalyst for the Renewed Hope Agenda.
The evening was a gathering of prominent personalities in the technology industry, policymakers, the public and private sectors. It is an event to recognize organizations and individuals who excel in service delivery by embracing digitization, which is part of the reforms in the public service in Nigeria, thus promoting e-governance. The 2024 GovTech Award offered a unique opportunity to recognize digital innovation that have transformed critical services from medical care and education to transportation as well as financial management in accelerating services. In a message, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, said the world is on top speed on the digital path. The Nigerian public service cannot be left behind, and assured that the federal government is committed to making a difference in the manner things are done in Nigeria.
This is one of his very wonderful and laudable projects that he has put in place, alongside with other very numerous positive projects that this administration has put in place.
Director General BPSR Dasuki Arabi said there are policies in the pipeline towards adopting artificial intelligence to blockchain the way services are rendered to Nigerians. The Bureau of Public Service Reforms singled out Edo State government for 100% digital compliance, hoping that in the next 5 years, the public service will go 100% paperless.
We are going to set up a committee that will work with the key agencies of government driving digitalization at the federal level, NIDA, Galaxy Backbone, NCC, the Ministry of Digital Economy, to see how we can deepen and pick up out of what we have learned today. But our hope and prayer is, just the way Edo is digitalized 100%, we hope all states are going to do that. And I'm hoping that by the time we come here next year, we'll come with the good news that Katsina State is 100% paperless.
Some recipients of the Nigerian GovTech Award were overjoyed.
We are able to train not less than 21,000 traders in e-commerce. Aside that, train our youths between the age of 10 and 18 in robotic.
It's an award to motivate us to do more, and we'll continue to do more. As the government ICT digital backbone, we support the government's digital transformation agenda, and to ensure that all the manual processes across all federal MDAs are digitized and automated.
Whom much is given, much is expected, and that's our belief, that we will do more and to ensure that it will become a pride among the Committee of Nations when it comes to legislation, e-parliament, e-governance. And that will continue. We assure Nigerians.
It's a culmination of tireless effort of the team of Nigerian Shippers Council, which has consistently been pursuing and trying to place Nigerian Shippers Council as an economic regulator with that can compete globally.
The Nigerian GovTech Conference and Award is designed to bring government officials, technology innovators, industry experts, policymakers, as well as key stakeholders to discuss and promote digital transformation within the Nigerian government. A total of 35 organizations were honored.
Digital governance to the Nigerian Communications Commission.
Thank you, Herman. And to those recognized, I say a big congratulations. I must also say that I really love the Thief Band's performance. And finally, let's go to Ondo, where Ife Oluwa tells us that the legacy of great parents is often measured by the achievements of their children. This truth resonates deeply as dignitaries from within and outside Nigeria gathered for the 40-day Fidal prayers for late Alhaji Sule Bakari, who passed on at the age of 86. Let's see this.
Fidal prayers hold significant religious importance in Islam, and it is against this backdrop that a 40-day Fidal prayer for late Alhaji Sule Bakari was held, where family, friends, and community gathered to pray for the forgiveness of sins of the deceased. The ancient town of Ilaramoki in Ondo State came alive as the reception for the 40 days Fidal prayer for late Alhaji Sule Bakari took place. The event was adorned in gold and white colors, symbolizing royalty and perfection. Dignitaries including retired military personnel, senators, and captains of industry graced the occasion, adding an air of elegance. Guests showcased the rich Yoruba culture in beautifully tailored ashoke and cashmere outfits, bringing glamour to the ceremony. A live band entertained guests with a mix of juju music and hip-hop, creating an atmosphere of fun and joy. Many reflected on the void the passing of Alhaji Sule Bakari would create, noting that he left a lasting impact on the community.
We miss so many things about him because he used to give me so many advice. When I want to go astray, my father gave me so many advice.
He sacrificed himself, to the service of humanity. Both family members, village people, and even others who are not even related or from our village, they all